Andy Warhol said, and that was in the world of mass media, in the future, everyone will be famous for 15 minutes. I say in the future, everyone will be a prostitute for 15 minutes. You're going to give people some kind of unique focused attention on
Huh.
demand for a set period of time and get paid for it somehow. And again, it could mean all the way to something
This is the
sexual,
only.
but most of
So
it will
this
be
is
other
like an
things.
OnlyFans economy, and we're not talking
Exactly,
about
exactly.
OnlyFans, but that as a beta test to what it means to get attention,
Yeah.
individualized attention. But
I mean,
how
on
does AI
OnlyFans,
work in
most
that?
people, even in, I think, the kind of adult accounts, most people don't really consume adult services there. They consume attention. Oh, mention my name, show my photo next to, like, people just want attention. They want to know that they exist, basically, in this world where it's no longer clear what's real. They don't even know whether they are real, and they need someone to tell them that they exist.
But how are you going to get through the AI? Does the AI give you the attention, and we don't need to do that?
No, so human is premium. So, Marshall
How do you know
McLuhan
it's
wrote that,
human?
no, there will be ways to know, and the most premium way is actually to be there in person if you can afford it, in places like New York and
Right.
San Francisco and
Okay.
London.
Yep.
Marshall McLuhan said that when horses are no longer needed for transportation, they become forms of entertainment and admiration. I think the same thing will be for humans and whatever they bring to the table. So everyone will have a Toyota, and the rich people ride horses today. I think the same thing will be with humans. Everyone will have companionship and advice and everything else, but those who actually want human advice will have to pay more, not necessarily to pay other people, but even to pay to be next to other people in a pleasant environment. Good physical space will be at the highest possible premium, higher than it was. And that's the irony of where we started this conversation. So technology is undermining the meaning of location, but it also makes the most desirable locations more desirable and more valuable than ever, because they allow you to do something real, and you can't do anything real anymore anywhere else.
That is fascinating. I hadn't quite connected those dots. They've been floating around my head, but it's absolutely dead right, because I had got to, which I also think is probably correct, is nature trades at a huge premium. That experience away from technology, because I think humanity's likely to split between the accelerationists who are going to merge with the machines at some point, whatever that means. They're the same people who will already wearing their Apple Watch, and that it's very quick that they will try and merge with the machines, and there's people who don't want to. But there's some way of living in both worlds, and I think nature probably is a premium experience, and nature plus community is an experience. But I'd not thought through the fact that the most premium experience of all, particularly in a world of shrinking populations, is human experience. And you might actually pay more for that than for the machine, just for the fact that it's human and it feels authentically different, even though it might be worse. But humans are worse by nature. They're just suboptimal and flawed.
It's imperfect and unpredictable, but that's the beauty of it. Blade Runner, incredible film, or two films in themselves, but they're based on a Philip K. Dick book called Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? And in the book, he emphasizes the fact that in that world, so there's the Decker, like the hero, Harrison Ford, he actually has a little sheep that he raises on his roof, and he's not even sure if it's a real sheep or not. But in that world, there's a black market for animals. People grow even cockroaches. They want to have something that is alive and real, and that's the rarest thing on earth. And they all kind of fight each other over those little things that are real, just because they want to have something in their hands that behaves a little differently and that is organic. So I think that's where we're headed. I mean, we're there already for some people, but I think more and more of the world will be structured in a way that makes these areas valuable.
We're both techno optimists because it feels like it's the only answer. And I know that's actually the worst case scenario for other people. I mean, some people absolutely hate this as an idea. What do you hate as an idea? You started off saying you're a paranoid Jew who always looks for where everything could go wrong. Okay, where's the flip side of your curiosity going? Where do you say, you know what, this could be entirely different outcome, and that worries me?
I hate zero-sum thinking, because we are not in a zero-sum world. Definitely not anymore. I don't think we ever were, but we're definitely not in a zero-sum world anymore. And I think a lot of the people who kind of rally against tech optimism are not angry at tech optimism. They're angry at the fact that we're in a big mess and that they don't have any better ideas. At the same time, I also get annoyed by some tech optimists that kind of, count it, cover everything in chocolate and just, oh, this is wonderful and it's going to be amazing and no one will be affected and we'll create jobs and
We'll live forever and everything's
that's
fine.
also, yeah, that's also not true. And it's definitely not appropriate, I think, to dismiss people's fears. I mean, people are in pain. People are anxious, and they should be anxious because these are anxious times. And we are privileged, whether it is by birth or by our own achievements or by luck or whatever it is. But the point is that those of us who can even talk about it are a little less worried and have a few more opportunities and maybe have a little more kind of buffer from some of these kind of tribulations. And I think so. I'm not criticizing the people on the other side. I'm criticizing people on my own side who I think can show much more empathy, much more effort to understand those other people, which is generally a challenge with everything. I mean, you see that in our politics today. I mean, there's two people on both sides who really don't understand each other, and each one is sure that the other one is like a complete idiot or driven by motives that are illegitimate or ignorant or medieval or whatever. While in reality, you can understand, whatever. If you really look at it, you understand that people are struggling. You can understand what they're worried about. You can understand what they're scared of. And
You should
I think
always
we should
ask,
bring more of that approach.
you should not listen to what they're saying, but understand why they're
Yeah.
saying it.
Like, I understand why people get excited about Trump, and I understand why people hate Trump and are willing to do everything against him. I still hope he disappears, of course. But, it's not all just, people are stupid and it's racism and religion. Like, I believe, maybe that's what I'm trying to say. I believe in humanity, and I believe that most people, if you give them love and some certainty, they really calm down really quickly and they can get along with almost anyone really easily. And that's true even if they keep hating each other and have prejudices and whatever it is, but they just don't pass that threshold of like, let's be violent, let's go crazy, let's tear the whole thing down. I think if people are able, to raise their kids, to have some kind of security in their life, most of them just become really, really calm. And I say that as someone who grew up in Israel, fought in wars, got shot at, two grandmas survived Auschwitz. I have no reason to think that, but I think that, and I believe that because, part of what I did growing up in the last 25 years is traveling all over the world, putting myself in extreme situations and getting to know the people on this planet. And we're all really cool once you get to know us, I think.
I've
Most
always
of us,
said
at least. So
travel is the greatest
yeah,
educator. Once you spend your life traveling,
travel and MDMA, if you combine them, especially.
exactly. But that the travel thing is like you see the world through everybody's perspectives, and you're like, it's not all about you. And then once you do that, it's a great thing.